They told you that your thoughts are private, that no one sees what happens inside your mind. But what if that was a lie? What if every doubt, every decision, every emotion was being watched? Not by people, but by something far greater. The universe isn't just a background. It's alive, aware, and constantly responding to you. That uneasy feeling of being observed, it's real. Science already proved that particles behave differently when watched. But here's what they don't tell you. This applies to your life too. Your struggles, your failures, even your so-called bad luck aren't random. They're feedback. Everything is a test, a reflection, a response to your awareness. Most people never realize this. They go through life unconscious, repeating patterns, blaming circumstances, but a few wake up. They see the signs, crack the illusion, and take control. The question is, will you? 1. The illusion of privacy. You are never truly alone. People like to believe their thoughts are private, that no one knows what's going on inside their heads. But is that really true? That eerie feeling of being watched isn't just your imagination. It's the universe reminding you that nothing goes unnoticed. Ancient wisdom and even modern physics suggest that reality itself is alive, aware, and constantly observing. The School for Gods teaches that life mirrors your inner world, reflecting everything you think, feel, and do. If existence is a conscious force, then privacy is nothing more than a comforting illusion. Ever had a moment when you were deep in thought and suddenly an event or a person seemed to respond to exactly what was on your mind? That's no accident. The observer effect isn't just a scientific principle, it's a spiritual truth. The universe picks up on your frequencies, adjusting your reality to match. This is why some people seem to attract success effortlessly while others stay stuck. They are both being watched. But only one understands how to align with the forces at play. Even your most personal moments are part of a grander design. Every time you think no one sees, reality itself is recording and responding. The School for Gods teaches that true freedom doesn't come from hiding your thoughts, but from mastering them. The more conscious you are of your inner dialogue, the more control you have over what is reflected back at you. The key isn't to fear being watched, but to understand that awareness gives you power. Most people remain asleep, unaware that their lives are an open book to the forces shaping their destiny. They assume life is random, that their thoughts are insignificant, that no one is watching. But those who awaken see the signs everywhere. Synchronicities, messages, and reflections that guide them toward mastery. If reality responds to awareness, then what happens when you start watching back? 2. The observer effect. Reality changes when you are aware. Quantum physics has already shattered the idea that reality is fixed. Scientists discovered that particles behave differently when observed, meaning the simple act of watching alters the outcome. But if this applies to the microscopic world, what does it mean for your daily life? The School for Gods teaches that your level of awareness determines how life unfolds for you. The more present you are, the more intentional reality becomes. If the universe is observing you, then your awareness is the key to shaping what it sees. Have you ever noticed how things start shifting when you become hyper-aware of a situation? Maybe you've walked into a room and sensed the energy change the moment you paid attention. This is no coincidence. The observer effect applies beyond physics. It's a law of consciousness. The more aware you are of your thoughts, emotions, and surroundings, the more reality bends in response. This is why self-awareness isn't just a mental exercise. It's a tool for transformation. The universe isn't some passive force watching from a distance. It interacts with you in real time. The School for Gods teaches that life tests you by reflecting your level of awareness back at you. Those who move through life blindly, without questioning their reality, remain stuck in cycles of limitation. But the moment you start watching, questioning, and recognizing patterns, the script begins to change. Life stops happening to you and starts responding to you. If being watched by the universe influences reality, then awareness is your greatest advantage. Imagine what would happen if, instead of reacting on autopilot, you started consciously observing your every thought and decision. What if you saw every challenge as a test rather than an obstacle? The more you see, the more control you gain. And if the universe is watching you, the real question is, who or what is feeding you your thoughts? 3. You are not the thinker. Where do your thoughts come from? Most people assume their thoughts belong to them, that their mind is a private space where ideas are born. But science tells a different story. Thoughts arise before we consciously register them. If that's the case, then where do they come from? The School for Gods teaches that the mind is more like an antenna than a generator, picking up frequencies from external forces. Some of these forces guide, while others mislead. The key to freedom is learning to separate the noise from the truth. Ever had a negative thought pop into your head out of nowhere, almost like it was planted? That's because it probably was. The programmed mind, what the School for Gods calls the tyrant within, thrives on doubt, fear, and self-sabotage. It's a force that operates through unconscious programming, making you believe you are your thoughts. But the moment you step back and observe, something shifts. You realize you are not the thinker, you are the observer, the one who watches. This is why awareness is so powerful. If you can watch your thoughts without identifying with them, you take back control. Instead of letting an old script dictate your actions, you can rewrite it. A simple practice. Next time a limiting belief enters your mind, ask, who does this thought serve? If the answer isn't you, discard it. The ability to step outside of your mind and question your thoughts is the first step to mastering them. Most people live their entire lives as prisoners of thoughts they never chose. They react, overthink, and allow their mental habits to control their destiny. But those who awaken learn that thoughts are just clouds passing through the sky of consciousness. The real you is the sky itself, vast, still, and untouched by the passing storms. And if you are the observer, then what does that say about the reality being reflected back at you? 4. The universe tests you through your own reflections. Life is not random and nothing happens by chance. Every situation, challenge, and coincidence is a precise reflection of what's happening inside you. The School for Gods teaches that the external world is nothing more than a projection of your inner state. If you constantly face resistance, struggle, or the same repeating problems, it's not because life is against you. It's because the universe is watching and testing your awareness. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how the same type of problems show up in your life until you finally deal with them? Maybe it's financial struggles, toxic relationships, or self-doubt. These patterns don't persist because you're unlucky. They persist because they're a mirror. The universe isn't punishing you. It's showing you exactly what you need to see. The test isn't about suffering. It's about recognizing the reflection and changing the source. This means every challenge is an opportunity. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this trying to show me? The School for Gods teaches that the fastest way to change external circumstances is to shift internal awareness. The moment you recognize that life is responding to you, not happening to you, you gain the power to reshape it. But most people never reach this realization. They stay stuck, blind to the test they're taking. Reality is a feedback loop, responding to your thoughts, beliefs, and level of consciousness. The universe is watching, but not as a judge, more like a mirror reflecting exactly what you need to see. The question is, are you paying attention? And if your external world is a test, then what unseen force is guiding the decisions you make within it? 5. The unseen force that shapes your decisions. Have you ever hesitated before making a choice, as if something invisible was nudging you in a certain direction? That's not just intuition, It's something deeper. The School for Gods teaches that an unseen force is constantly influencing your decisions, guiding you toward growth or holding you back through unconscious patterns. Some call it universal intelligence, others call it the higher self. Whatever the name, it responds to your awareness, rewarding clarity and punishing unconsciousness. Think about a time when you ignored a gut feeling and later regretted it. Maybe you sensed a bad business deal, but went through with it anyway. Or perhaps you felt drawn to an opportunity, but let doubt talk you out of it. That hesitation wasn't random. It was a test. The universe observes how aligned you are with truth and adjusts your reality accordingly. The more aware you are of this unseen force, the easier it becomes to trust the right path. This is why some people seem to move through life effortlessly, while others struggle at every turn. It's not luck, it's alignment. The School for Gods teaches that the universe isn't chaotic. It's precise, responding to the energy you bring to each moment. When you act from fear, confusion, or hesitation, the path becomes harder. When you act from clarity, confidence, and presence, everything flows. The difference is whether you are making decisions consciously or being controlled by hidden forces. The more you align with higher consciousness, the more life unfolds in your favor. But most people don't even realize they are being guided or tested. They assume their struggles are external, never questioning the invisible forces at play. But if the universe is constantly watching and shaping your path, then what is the ultimate test it has been waiting for you to recognize? 6. The power of awareness, the test you didn't know you were taking. The greatest test in life isn't about success, intelligence, or morality. It's about awareness. Most people are moving through life asleep, reacting rather than creating, unaware they are even being tested. The School for Gods teaches that the journey to mastery is about waking up, becoming fully conscious of your thoughts, emotions, and reality itself. The universe watches closely, waiting for the moment you take responsibility for your existence. Ever noticed how people who are truly aware seem untouchable? They don't get caught in drama, they don't fall for manipulation, and they rarely struggle the way others do. It's not because life treats them differently, it's because they operate from a higher level of consciousness. The more awake you are, the less life happens to you, and the more you shape it. This is the real test. Are you controlling your reality, or is your reality controlling you? One of the simplest ways to pass this test is to start questioning everything. Instead of blindly reacting, pause and observe. When someone triggers you, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? When a challenge arises, shift your mindset from victim to creator. The School for Gods calls this the path of the man-woman of integrity, a person who no longer operates from fear, doubt, or limitation. They see life for what it is, a precise system responding to their level of awareness. Most people will never wake up. They will continue blaming circumstances, feeling powerless, and never realizing they were taking a test all along. But the moment you become aware, everything changes. The universe has been watching, waiting for you to see through the illusion. And once you do, life itself starts to reflect back something entirely new. So if awareness is the key, what happens when you finally recognize yourself as the one doing the watching? 7. The mirror effect. Life responds to your state of being. Everything you experience is a reflection of your internal world. If you constantly face resistance, frustration, or setbacks, it's not because life is against you. It's because those same forces exist within you. The School for Gods teaches that reality mirrors your level of consciousness, shaping events according to your dominant thoughts and emotions. The universe isn't just watching, it's adjusting to the energy you project, responding with precise accuracy. Ever noticed how some people seem to attract chaos, while others seem to move through life effortlessly? It's not magic. It's alignment. A person filled with doubt will see opportunities slip through their fingers, while someone radiating confidence will attract the right people and circumstances. The observer effect proves that the act of watching changes reality, but most people don't realize they are both being watched and doing the watching. They assume life happens randomly, never questioning their own role in shaping it. This is why self-mastery is the key. If you want life to treat you differently, you must first change your inner state. The School for Gods explains that when you shift your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, the world around you must follow. Instead of waiting for circumstances to change yourself first. A simple exercise: start your day by consciously choosing your emotional state. Decide who you want to be before reality has a chance to decide for you. The universe is a precise mechanism, responding not to your wishes, but to your state of being. Most people live in reaction mode, never realizing they are broadcasting signals that dictate their experiences. But those who wake up understand that the external world is nothing more than a mirror. If the universe is reflecting your level of awareness, then what happens when you become fully conscious of the observer within you? 8. What happens when you watch back? Most people go through life without ever questioning why things happen the way they do. They assume circumstances are random, that events are disconnected, that they have little control. But the moment you start watching, truly watching, everything changes. The School for Gods calls this the moment of awakening, when you stop being just the observed and become the observer. This is where the illusion cracks and reality begins to reveal its deeper truth. Ever had a moment where patterns started emerging? Maybe you kept seeing the same numbers, hearing the same messages, or experiencing déjà vu. These aren't coincidences, they're signals. The universe is constantly communicating, but most people are too distracted to notice. The more you pay attention, the more you start to see the hidden structure behind events. Suddenly, things that once seemed unrelated start forming a clear pattern, showing you exactly what you need to know. Once you start watching, you can no longer go back to sleep. You realize that every thought, every emotion, every action is part of a greater feedback loop. The School for Gods teaches that reality is not something happening to you, it's something you are creating. Those who remain unconscious are moved by forces they don't understand, while those who awaken learn to shape their destiny with intention. The choice is simple: remain blind or start seeing the game for what it is. The test was never about proving yourself to an external force. It was about becoming conscious enough to see through the illusion. The universe has been watching, waiting for you to wake up, to take control, to recognize your own power. But the real question is, now that you know this, what will you do with it? If you want to elevate your vibrations and manifest with more ease, I have prepared something special for you. Click the link in the first pinned comment and join us in the journey of awakening your inner mage.